Welcome to Feature Scaling and Pipelines in Python. In this lesson, we will learn how to prepare data for machine learning using feature scaling and pipelines. You will see why scaling matters and how pipelines help keep code organized. Let us get started. Running the cell now. We will start by importing the warnings library. This code hides most warning messages so they do not clutter the notebook. The warnings library lets us control warning messages. We tell Python to ignore most warnings here so the output is cleaner. Running the cell now. Try it, run this cell so future outputs are easier to read. What is feature scaling? Feature scaling means adjusting values in data so they fit into a certain range or distribution. This is important because some machine learning models work better if all numbers are on the same scale. For example, salaries and ages have very different values, but both affect predictions. Running the cell now. Let us see a simple example. Here are ages and salaries. The values are on very different scales. We print both lists to see the difference. This comment explains what we are doing, looking at numbers that need scaling. We set up a small list of ages and a list of salaries with much bigger values. We show the ages. We show the salaries. Running the cell now. Notice the salary numbers are much larger than ages. What is a pipeline? A pipeline lets us link together all the data preparation steps and modeling into one simple workflow. It is like an assembly line for your data. Once set up, a pipeline makes your machine learning code neat and repeatable. Running the cell now. We will use the Titanic dataset for our lesson. First, let us load the data from an online source. We show its shape and preview the first few rows. This comment reminds us we are loading the Titanic data. We import pandas, a library for handling tables. The dataset lives at this web address. We load the data into a pandas data frame. We print the number of rows and columns. We display the first few rows for a quick look. Running the cell now. Try running this cell to see real-world data that needs scaling. Next, let us see what the columns are and count how many people survived versus did not survive. This comment helps us remember to look at columns and the target values. We see all the column names. We count how often each value of survived appears, to see the class balance. Running the cell now. Understanding your dataset helps you plan preprocessing steps like scaling. For feature scaling, we usually work only on numerical columns. Here we select age and fair since they are both numbers. This comment tells us we are picking columns for scaling. We make a list with age and fair. We create a data frame with only those columns. We show the first few rows. Running the cell now. Which other columns do you think could be scaled if they were numeric? Why scale features? If numeric features are wildly different in size, some models pay more attention to big numbers. Scaling makes sure every feature has a similar impact. This is very useful for models like k-nearest neighbors or logistic regression. Running the cell now. Let us use a tool that rescales numbers so they have zero mean and unit variance. We use the StandardScaler from Sklern for this. This comment explains we are using standard scaling. We import the StandardScaler, a tool for feature scaling. We create a scalar object. We fit the scalar to our data and then transform it. We print the first 5 results to see the scale data. Running the cell now. Notice the numbers are now centered around 0 and much closer in scale. Some tools scale numbers between 0 and 1. This is called MinMax scaling. Let us see how that looks. This comment is about MinMax scaling. We import MinMaxScaler. We create a MinMaxScaler object. We scale the numeric columns to range from 0 to 1. We print the first 5 scaled rows. Running the cell now. Try comparing MinMax scaling and standard scaling. Which seems easier to understand? What about pipelines? Let us chain together preprocessing and a simple model using a pipeline. This lets us handle all steps in one place and prevents mistakes. Running the cell now. To train a model, we need to split the data into features and labels. Then we divide data into training and testing sets. A good practice is to use random_state so results can be repeated. This comment reminds us we are splitting features and labels. We import train_test_split to do the splitting. X is our input data, only age and fair columns. Y is our label, if the person survived. We split all the data into training and test groups. We set aside 30% for testing and use random_state for reproducibility. We print out the shapes to check the split. Running the cell now. Splitting data like this helps check how well our model works. Now we make a pipeline. This will first scale the features, then fit a logistic regression model. The pipeline keeps the steps together and makes it repeatable. The comment explains what is happening, scaling, then modeling. We import pipeline from sklearn. We import pipeline from simple imputer. We import the logistic regression model. We build our pipeline as a list of steps. The first is the imputer to take care of nans. The second is the scaler. The third is the model. End of steps list. We train the pipeline with our training data. We check how well it predicts on test data. We round the accuracy and print it. Running the cell now. Using a pipeline is safer, preprocessing always happens before predicting. Pipelines are easy to adjust. Let us try using MinMax scaling in the pipeline instead of standard scaling. We train and compare the new accuracy. This comment tells us to use MinMaxScaler in the pipeline. We build a new pipeline with the MinMaxScaler. Imputing step using simple imputer to take care of nans. Scaling step using MinMaxScaler. Model step stays the same. End of steps list. We fit the new pipeline. We get the new test accuracy. We show the accuracy on test data using MinMax scaling. Running the cell now. Changing scalars is just one line when you use pipelines. Real-world tip: missing values. Pipelines can also include steps to fill in missing values in imputation. This keeps all your transformations together. We often use simple imputer for this. Running the cell now. Let us include an imputer in the pipeline. The imputer will fill in missing values with the mean. We add it before scaling and modeling. We then check test accuracy. This line adds a comment about imputing missing values. We import simple imputer. We build a new pipeline with steps for imputation, scaling, and modeling. Imputer is first, fills missing data. Then scaling. Then the model. End of list. We train the pipeline. We measure the new accuracy. Print out the test accuracy after adding imputation. Running the cell now. Handling missing data is easier when you use pipelines. It is good to check for missing values in your features. Let us see if age or fair have missing data. The comment says we check missing values. Show missing counts for age. Show missing counts for fair. Running the cell now. Try checking for missing data whenever you start a project. Best practices: train to test leakage. Scaling must be fit only on training data, then applied to test data. Pipelines make this automatic, so you will not leak test info to your model. Always use pipelines or careful code to avoid data leakage. Running the cell now. You can quickly swap the model type in a pipeline. Let us use k-nearest neighbors, which is sensitive to feature scale. We train and test the pipeline as before. Try building a pipeline for a different model. We import k-neighbors classifier. The pipeline first scales data. Then it builds a k-nearest neighbors model. End of steps. Fit the pipeline. Get the test accuracy. Print the accuracy for k-nearest neighbors. Running the cell now. Which accuracy is higher, logistic regression or k-nearest neighbors? Now let us use our pipeline to predict on user input. You will enter an age and a fare. The pipeline will scale and predict if the person survived. This is a challenge cell to try input yourself. We ask for the passenger age. We ask for the ticket fare. We use the pipeline to predict survival based on those numbers. We print the model's prediction: 0 means did not survive, 1 means survived. Running the cell now. Try with different age and fare values to see predictions change. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe for more Python videos. Recap: what did we learn? Scaling puts features on equal footing for machine learning. Pipelines keep data steps together and avoid mistakes. Real-world data often needs both to work well. Keep exploring and practicing your pipeline skills. Running the cell now. Thank you for joining this lesson on feature scaling and pipelines. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more easy Python tutorials. See you next time. Happy coding. Running the cell now.